Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's real good that they get the opportunity to go and get a chance to get a feel for the colleges so they can start focusing on their grades and doing what they're supposed to in school to get them ready for the future. And I hope they have fun. I don't know. This is a future Black College Club member here.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Ready? First of all, those of you who don't know me, my name is Kevin Howell. I'm the president of the Black College Alumni Association, founder of the Black College Club. I want to welcome you to the second spring trip that we're taking. First and fourth of last year out to the East Coast, we're going down south, all the way down south, to Florida and Alabama. As I told last year's group, I'll also tell you guys too. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for participating in this program. You turned the Fort Wayne out. There's nothing like this ever happened before in Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is my hometown. This is the hometown for a lot of you guys. Nothing like this has ever happened. Last year we took 72. This year we're taking 101. Had to turn away 35 people. Just didn't have the space. So congratulations to you young people and congratulations to your parents. Thank you very much. It's already a success. Give yourself a hand.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. My name is Kathleen Buck. I'm a member here at 16th Street, and we're delighted to have you here. We're going to show you a video of the bombing of the church. And before I show the video, I'd like to give you just a little history about 16th Street Baptist Church. It was the first black church organized in Birmingham, Alabama back in 1873. And by 1880, the city had begun to grow, so we moved to this spot where we are now. This church was designed by the only black architect in the state of Alabama, Wallace Brayton. It was built under the supervision of the black construction force, T.C. Windman, who resided right here in Birmingham and was a member of our church. Blacks had everything to do with the construction of this building, and we feel very proud of it. The incident surrounding the bombing happened back in the 60s, and of course many of you would know much about that. But during that time, segregation in Birmingham, Alabama, and many other southern places was at its peak. So the leaders had begun to organize to help bring about desegregation of the public facilities here in the city. There were weekly meetings held on Monday night, throughout the city, at various churches, there were not many places that could house large groups of people because of the segregation law. 16th Street opened its doors, and there were many other places that they met during the time of the demonstration. However, all the demonstrations and marches led right here from this church, 16th Street. So we feel like that had a lot to do with the bombing of this building. And of course, there was a lot of tension at that time. The tension in the city was very high. There were many people who lost their jobs because if it was known that they attended the meeting, people were very fearful. So this is one reason we felt like the bombing happened here, because at any time you could get a large group of black people together. And so the bombing happened on a Sunday morning. It took place on the 16th Street side of the church, on this side over here. At that time, there was a stairwell that led into the building. That stairwell isn't there anymore. The bomb had been placed under the stairwell. The 4 girls that were killed were in the direct vicinity of the blast. When you go downstairs in the sanctuary, you will see, we will point out to you the area where they were. That area now is our kitchen. But at that time, that was the latest line. They were in the process of changing into their quarters when the bomb went off. So they received the worst part of the damage. However, there were other people injured, 22 other people injured in that blast. There was a girl here not too long ago, the sister of one of the deceased girls, who lost her eye. Last year, Attorney Janet Reno held a reception downstairs, and the remaining family members of the bomb victims were invited. So we got an opportunity to see. So we will give you more information about the bombing after you watch the video. And of course, if you have questions about the video, Dr. Goodson here, you see to my right, left rather, Dr. Goodson was here that Sunday morning when the blast went off. As a matter of fact, he was inside in his Sunday school class, and he'll tell you about that. So he can answer questions about the bombing, about his fears, and what happened during that particular time. And there may be other questions that you want to ask about the bombing after you view the video. So I won't take up all your time talking. I'll let you view the video. Then Dr. Goodson will come and answer your questions. We'll take you downstairs to the Memorial Nook, let you view the area, and
And your name is?
I'm Jason Powell.
And what are your thoughts?
It was very educational how it showed us like how everything was going on back in the 60s with everybody discriminating against each other, and it showed us a lot about what was going on back in the times back then.
All right. And your name is?
Brian Banks.
What are your thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was informational and educational, you know, and I like the way the church looked now, and I think that the video was informational. They showed us about how things were going on back then, and I thought it was kind of sad how the 4 girls died and everything, but they explained it was informational, it was educational. I liked it. It was enjoyable.
They're members of the Black College Club. They're from Fort Wayne, Indiana. They're full of questions about that tragic day.
How often do you think about what happened?
Where you were? Because, if you were down in the basement, were you able to, see anything?
I was right up here in the class.
Still others are left somewhat bewildered.
Yeah, I was shocked, but yet disappointed, and I felt bad, kind of, sort of. I didn't know how to feel. I felt different ways because it was sad, to have something like that happen to poor little girls. So.
The bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church for many is nothing more than a memory. But these students will tell you, thanks to this tour, that won't happen today. That church has become a firm part of their memory. And a firm reminder of their history. Dante Ross says his interest was sparked months ago. He can't say the same for his friends.
Most of my friends don't even know nothing about this church and how it got bombed and stuff, about the 4 girls.
It's extremely important that we stop here in Birmingham, Alabama, at this particular church, and let these kids see firsthand that people actually did die and sacrifice for them to enjoy the freedoms that they enjoy right now.
Oh, it hit me, just to think that people died for me, in order to see stuff like this, go to college, it's unreal.
There are lessons to be learned inside Birmingham's 16th Street Baptist Church, lessons of love and hate, courage and fear, of how hard it is to kill racial hatred and how easily the innocent can die. It was here 35 years ago that race hatred turned violent, and 4 little girls were murdered by a Ku Klux Klan bomb. When the smoke cleared and the dead were counted, America's civil rights movement was reborn.
And when the bomb went off, they found all 4 bodies lying on top of one another. They don't feel like they were killed instantly because someone said they could hear the moaning and groaning sounds of the girls.
That really moved me, and I didn't know it was going to move me this much just being in the church.
The lives of these Fort Wayne children are full of promise now. They dream of college, of career, of raising families of their own. Those hopes were paid for, though, in this church with the blood of 4 young girls during those very dark days when career, college, and family were just dreams to thousands of African-American children.
They could have been future lawyers, doctors, teachers, professors.
14-year-old Cynthia Wesley, 14-year-old Addie Mae Collins, 11-year-old Denise McNair, and 14-year-old Carol Robertson were the girls who died here when the bomb went off during Sunday's service. The deaths of the 4 innocent little girls touched an entire nation, and now Fort Wayne teens are taking time to reflect.
It's kind of sad because, I mean, at such a young age, why would anybody want to do anything to a young child that hasn't done anything to them?
Christopher Hamlin is the pastor of the 16th Street Baptist Church. He says everyone who passes through here is changed by the experience.
The bombing of our church was the first time in the civil rights movement where you had children being killed.
Never quite looking at the world the same again.
I hope they walk away saying, this cannot happen in my school. This cannot happen in my church, my synagogue, my mosque. This can't happen in my neighborhood.
The 16th Street Baptist Church today stands restored and full of lessons to teach of how 4 little girls full of promise and hope died violent deaths 35 years ago so that the rest of us might live freer lives.
It's a feeling that you will get, you won't even have to think about it. I visited several colleges. I visited Norfolk, North Carolina, A&T, and Hampton, and all of them were good schools, but when I came here, I felt like this would be my home, and you need to visualize yourself going here, because if you don't feel comfortable in the place you at, you won't do well at all. As far as classes, the main thing is that you should just go. There's a lot of stuff that's a distraction as far as parties. There ain't no parents, there ain't nobody to tell you to come in. You can come in if you want to, you don't have to. That's the reason why you even here is to get an education. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then you won't be able to be here to have the fun you're having. It's an experience that I think everybody should have the opportunity to have, even if you go to college for a semester or just for a year. You meet people from all over. You do a lot of things you didn't do. Become more diverse as far as what you thought was acceptable to you. It's just a lot of fun. The main thing is though, you got to get your work. A lot of distractions. Always another party. It's always something to do, but you got to take care of priorities first. And that's pretty much all.
Any questions for us?
Negatives. A lot of y'all probably used to having your own car, your own room, your own space. When you come here, you have to learn to share. You're going to have at least one roommate. In some situations like me, I started off with 3. I lived in a quad, it was 4 of them. So that meant it was 4 different schedules, 4 different girls having different things to do, and you got to adjust. If you don't adjust, then you'll be miserable. You don't have a car down here, like I said, a lot of y'all probably don't catch the bus. Y'all say, no, I ain't never been on no bus. That ain't me. You will catch the bus when you come here because they don't allow freshmen to have cars on campus. What else? The negative also is, I think the cafeteria food is fine, but y'all used to your mothers and fathers cooking it how you used to. It's not like that. They cook flat out. Either you eat it or you don't. to learn to adjust to that. I don't know how y'all feel about the heat, but at least here at FAMU, especially first semester, it's awfully hot, really hot, and I had to adjust to that because I wasn't used to it. Like now, today is a pretty day. If y'all would have came yesterday, it was very hot. Y'all wouldn't want to walk nowhere. What about classes? Classes? Like how many credit hours? Oh yeah, if you don't get your grades how you're supposed to, they give you 2 chances. The first chance you're on academic warning. After that, they give you a chance and they say, okay, you didn't do well this semester, you got next semester. If you do bad the next semester, you'll be on academic probation. That's your last chance to get yourself together. If you don't do well after that, basically you have 1 year. If you don't do well after that, then they will kick you off campus. You have to maintain at least a 2.0, I think, because they're not playing. It's a lot of people, you know, before they thought that since it's a predominantly black university that, you know, the education is not as high as a predominantly white, and it's not like that. They're not letting just anybody in. There's a lot of people, a lot of black kids who want to go to school and can't because their grades not what they should be. So you got to get your grades. If you don't get them just because your parents or financial aid or whatever is paying, they won't let you stay. You will go home.
What's one of the biggest adjustments that you had to make as far as by being alone for 20 years?
Doing what I want to do when I want to do it. It's always a party, always something to do, and you have friends come to the door saying, girl, let's go here, girl, let's go there. You got to discipline yourself to say, I'm not going to go this time, I'm going to stay here and open this book and study. And if you do go out and you do decide to go party and you don't get in at 3 in the morning and you know you got a test at 9, you got to stay up and study. There's nothing wrong with partying. You can party all night long, but if you know you got at 8 o'clock, you got to get up. Tired, whatever you may be. You may be intoxicated, whatever. You got to get up and go.
Those times that you felt like quitting, what did you do to motivate yourself to stay?
I thought about that. If I wasn't in school, I wouldn't be able to have the fun I was having anyway. You got to remember that. You're having fun, but all that will come to a halt if you don't go to class. You got to go to class. If you don't go to class, you're going right back home before 1. But you should do your work because, like I said, it's an experience that it's inexplainable. It's a freedom, no parents, no nothing. It's just you and your friends, and y'all having a good time. A good time. Okay, when I came here, it was, I didn't know anybody. I'm the only person on this campus, except for one other girl, Andrea Dorch, who's 23, that's even from Fort Wayne. I knew nobody, and I was real nervous. Like when I first came, my parents dropped me off. I didn't want to go outside my room, but I say within a week, I'd met so many friends. Don't worry about not knowing nobody. I think it's better not to know anybody. Don't nobody know who you are. They don't know. You could be anybody. They don't know where you came from. They don't know nothing about you. And so they don't have any stereotypes towards you. But don't be nervous to think that since you don't know anybody, and don't let that keep you from going away. You should still go away. It's a lot of people here in y'all same position from everywhere that don't know anybody. The first person you get close with is probably your roommate. But that's a big adjustment too. But you'll meet somebody. You'll meet people at the strangest places, washing clothes at the pop machine, and it's different. It's a lot of differences between the South and the North, a lot. But you'll adjust to it. No church. There's an on-campus church that you can walk to. It's in the grand ballroom, which is on the set in the middle. But even if you don't go to that church, it's they have buses that come. You'll see them. They'll be handing out flyers that come and get you on Sunday morning. So it's nothing to keep you from going to church. They have buses. They'll hand out flyers, and you'll see flyers up that say call this number if you want to ride to church in the morning. And if you don't want to get a ride, you can go right on campus. And a lot of you girls that, I don't know, I know a lot of y'all danced at home. They got a lot of dance groups here. Girls with Boys and Dancing Divas, Mahogany, Odyssey. It's a lot of, y'all can dance with any of them. They have tryouts, you'll see all, it's a lot to get involved in. Student government, it's a lot. Oh, Tallahassee, no, I mean, it's always crime, but it's basically, Tallahassee's a college town. Without the colleges, it really wouldn't be much to do. But like, we got FAM here, FSU and TCC, Tallahassee Community College. So basically, the stuff that goes on as far as parties and stuff and the fun that goes on is because of the colleges. The city is pretty much dead. Oh. No. It's more fights, I think, than all that shooting and stuff. Now, they will fight. I've seen a lot of fights, but I'd rather it be a fight than a gun. You know? A lot of fights.
Could you talk about the fraternity and sorority life?
Like I said, I'm a freshman, but from what I've seen, a lot of people want to pledge a lot of things. I think the guy sorority fraternity that runs FAM most is probably the Kappas. But we got Kappas, we got Sigmas, Qs, we got Alphas that they kicked off for hazing. And for the sororities, we got Deltas, aka Beta. But I think the ones that run FAM the most probably the Deltas and the Kappas, in my opinion.
One more question before we get started.
Oh, man.
All right, get right here.
I'll be your tour guide today. My name is Stephen Nash. I'm a graduate student here in agricultural business, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. Basically, what we're going to do is take a walking tour around our campus while point out different things about the university and answer any questions that you might have. Is that cool? Okay. We'll start out with, let me tell you about one distinction that we have this year. We were voted by Time Magazine and Princeton Review as College of the Year. Basically, we were voted this because of our excellent programs here on campus, as well as we attracted and recruited the most national achievement scholars here at the university. And basically, as we go, I'm going to tell you about the programs that enabled us to be College of the Year. While we're down here, I'll talk to you about our athletic programs. Of course, right here is our football stadium, Bragg Stadium. This is the largest football stadium on a predominantly black university campus. It seats 25,500 fans during the football season, and of course during homecoming they will put in over 30,000 fans. This is also where during halftime, world-renowned Marching 100 performs. That is our marching band, and they are considered the greatest marching band in the world if you have not seen it. Have y'all seen our marching band by any chance? Let's get out, brother. All right. All right. And right over here, the little building next to the stadium is our field house, which is primarily for our football team. Our football players' locker rooms, as well as their weight rooms, as well as our football coach's office. Okay? Real quick, this building that we are standing behind is Howard Hall. This is our Army ROTC building. ROTC stands for Reserve Officers Training Corps. In this program, you can receive scholarships as well as work study just for being in this program. And if you stay in this program for 4 years, you will be commissioned. That's like graduating, and you'll go on to the regular Army as a ranked officer. Example, if you come out of high school, you will be basically private. If you go through this program, you will be a commissioned officer, somewhere around a second lieutenant. So of course the pay scale is a lot different doing it that way. Right? Any questions? All right, let's walk. This is our School of Business and Industry over here across the street. Like I said, it ranks in the top 10 business schools in the country. We have a unique program in here called our 5-year MBA or our 5-year master's program. What that is you come in as a freshman and you start that day towards your undergraduate and your graduate degree, and it should take you 5 to 6 years. Basically, it'll take you that long because you have to do mandatory internships. They give you 3 mandatory internships to do. And when you do those, you will do them at a Fortune 500 company. Examples being Procter & Gamble, Anheuser-Busch, Pfizer, Coca-Cola, companies like that. So you will make good money when you go on your internship. Now on the third one, if you choose to, you can go out the country, like Africa, Singapore, London, places like that. And if you finish this program, we have a 99.7% job placement rate. So you're almost guaranteed a job when you finish. All right? Any questions about the business program?
If they do go, like, decide to go to other countries, do they have to pay for that, or does the school?
The company will pay for it. This building right here is our college Gore Education Complex. It houses our college education and our School of General Studies. General Studies is basically for those students who are undecided upon a major when they come here. They can go in here and fulfill requirements till they actually declare a major. Our college education are for those students who want to go into elementary education, guidance counseling, health, physical education, teachers like that. We also offer masters as well as a doctorate in college education. Across the street with our college education from the building, which you cannot see, we have a developmental and research school called FAMU High School. It goes from kindergarten through the 12th grade. It's a private school with the university, and our college education students can get on-hands training over at the developmental and research school. Okay. Behind me, this house that you see used to be a president's home. It is now a peer counseling center, and it's for those students who might be having a problem coping with college life. We have administrative counselors as well as student counselors in here to assist those students with their particular problems. This red brick building directly behind me is our Dyson Pharmacy building. This houses our College of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. This also ranks in the top 10 pharmacy programs in the country, and this is the top pharmacy program in the state. It's one of the few places where you actually can receive your doctorate in pharmacy. And we are the largest producer of pharmacists in the state and one of the largest producers of black pharmacists in the country. Okay? Just to give you an example of what a pharmacy degree can do, say Tallahassee, for instance, the cost of living is cheap here. Just y'all familiar with Walgreens? Okay, with an undergraduate degree, working at Walgreens as a pharmacist, you can come out of this program making $55,000 to $57,000 a year. That's just with an undergraduate degree. Now we don't offer that anymore. We offer a six-year doctoral program. So everyone that comes in, well, from this last freshman class on, you have to go into the 6-year doctoral program. Okay. And this white building right here is actually under renovation, but it's our oldest building standing, and this is our Black Archives. It's like a Black History and Research Museum. They had a lot of artifacts from Africa and abroad, a lot of documents on the history of African Americans. They relocated until they finished doing this building. Okay, right. Oh yeah, we're gonna give you some brochures. Yes, we do. Pre-med and pre-dentistry. Well, biology and chemistry, you can go through pre-med and pre-dentistry. Any other questions? All right, I got a question for you all. By show of hands, what would you all like to major in? Criminal psychology.
Right here.
Well,
psychology.
Psychology.
Computer science.
Computer science. Art. Okay. Anybody else?
He's interested in real estate, being a real estate tycoon.
Mm-hmm.
So he was wondering what area would he go into? Business management, or would they steer him in finances, or?
What would you like to? What would you like to do with that?
You mean for real estate or what?
Yeah, like, do you want to be a realtor, like for Century 21 or whatever? Yeah, you probably go into like finance in our business program, and then just take the regular 3 to 6 hour real estate course and take that test that they have. Okay. Yeah, that's why I was asking what aspect. Cause see, agriculture, you could go into soil conservation, and that's over anything dealing with land, building buildings or whatnot. Anybody else? What about you? Yeah, you don't know yet? About you? Architecture. We got a real good architecture program right there. Sports medals? Yeah, that's too. A lot of our athletes going to that. I don't know why. You don't know yet? What's your classification now? Junior, senior, something? Junior. What about you? What you want to do? You don't even know what you like to do. All kind of stuff. So if you was at home right now, what would you be doing? Sleeping? After you slept, what you gonna do? I don't know. Play basketball or something? What about you? You don't know yet? Undecided? What about you, man, right here in this Nike shirt? What you want to do? Major in biology. Biology? Really? That's cool. All right, any other questions? All right. Building behind you all is Jones Hall. This is basic life science building. Most of our curriculum has some type of science that you have to take, so you will go through this building before you graduate. Next to it, across the street, we have our Ware Rainey building, which houses our School of Nursing and our School of Allied Health Sciences. In Allied Health Sciences, we have physical therapy, occupational therapy, and respiratory therapy. Out of those three, as well as nursing, over the last 9 years, we have a 100% passing rate on board exams, meaning all those students who finished in those programs went on to pass the board exam and to practice whatever their major was.
Yeah.